Capricorn, a very warm welcome. My name's Drew. This is Modern Tarot. Those of you that are new here, welcome. And those of you returning, welcome back. Capricorn, this is all about the last couple of weeks of July. What might be happening for you, around you. Some of your fears might come to light, Capricorn, and possible outcomes. Okay, hopefully some good stuff, right? Some nice surprises for you, Capricorn. So let's have a look. One more shuffle, and I'm going to go straight into this reading. Okay, some of you might be dealing with a water sign. Okay, King of Cups wanted to show itself there. Male or female, it's an energy. Okay, guys, it's still there. So let's have a look. The center of the reading. Okay, we got the Empress in reverse. Okay, so throughout the last couple of weeks of July, Capricorn, watch how you speak to yourself. Watch how you view yourself with the Empress in reverse. The Empress in the upright, it really talks about self-nurturance. The Empress is a beautiful energy. She walks into a room, he or she, and they just are. They're not super flamboyant. They're not the loudest people in the room. They are all-seeing, all-knowing. They are authentically themselves, and they come with a sense of peace, and people really warm to them. In reverse, it just means that, Capricorn, watch how you speak to yourself, watch how you view yourself, watch how you nurture yourself with exercise, food, and these kind of things, all right? The challenge. Okay, we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And so, when the Wheel of Fortune is in a tarot reading, this talks about destiny. This talks about new cycles, things going in your favor. Some of you might have, had some misfortunes. It could be to do with health, Capricorn. It could be to do with many things, okay? But you might not have been feeling yourself, okay? But, it's only for 2 weeks, okay? Reason why it's all happening, Queen of Wands in reverse. For some of you guys, like I said, leading up to this reading, you might not have felt that great. And it might have been something to do physiology. Terrible. It might have been something to do with physiology. Maybe there was sickness. Maybe you weren't feeling that great, which might have taken away from your, go-get attitude of the Queen of Wands here. This is fire energy. The Queen of Wands, she's confident. She's not like the Empress. She exudes confidence. She can come across as a little bit arrogant, these kind of things, all right? But, the reason why it's all happening, Capricorn, I think for some of you might have been going a little bit slow coming into the last couple of weeks of July. And it's affected not so much your confidence, but, your action taking. All right, recent past, making healthy choices, Capricorn. The Lovers, some of you might have Earth, Fire, and Air in your charts. Okay, some of you might have Gemini in your charts. But, the Lovers talks about, this is the recent past. Some of you might have beautiful connections around you, very loving connections, soulmate connections. But this is about making healthy choices, okay? Healthy choices in love, especially, Capricorn. It's good. All right, your focus, really, study, working hard, Capricorn. The Page of Pentacles, he's slow, methodical, pragmatic, dots the I's and crosses the T's. So your focus might be work. You might be studying new ways of introducing new things into your work program, expanding, but learning and growing, Capricorn, but taking it slowly and being very pragmatic about the changes that you're making. What you don't see coming towards you, just be careful throughout the last couple of weeks of July that you're not giving to situations that aren't really giving back to you. So, this could be banking, right, where you're getting really shitty interest rates and these kind of things with your investments. But, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, this is very much, it's about reciprocity. It's about only investing things, Capricorn, where you can actually, through study, see that, yeah, this is going to kind of give back to me, okay? So it might be a month of study, what's available, and where is my time best spent, okay, throughout the last couple of weeks of July. Your energetic field is beautiful. When I look at the Lovers in the recent past, okay, in your energetic field, Capricorn, people warm to you. People feel a soul bond with you throughout the last couple of weeks of July. This is, how to put this? The Two of Cups energy as an energetic field. This is, this isn't arrogance. This is like, You can empathize with other people. People will warm to you. People will certainly relate to you, Capricorn. It's a beautiful energy, all right? So don't let that slide. Outside influences, Tower. Okay, so these are sometimes shocking. We can't avoid them in life, Capricorn. These are things that are shape shifting, shape shifting our lives. You know, unbeknownst to ourselves, they can happen at any given moment. And that's where we have to be adaptable and flexible to change. Okay. So, an outside influence, I'm going to clarify this reading. I'm going to go deeper. So, stick with me. Some kind of a tower moment, okay, is affecting this whole reading. Some of you, there might have been some kind of health shock. I'm just saying, it doesn't have to be super sinister, super bad, but that might have affected, your July so far. In your fears, look, we got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Money might be an issue. Am I where I want to be? Maybe I feel like I'm starting at the bottom here. Learning a new craft, new ways of earning money. Some of you might be studying AI and how that can be used to your advantage. AI can be used, for negative or positive, right? But the Page of Pentacles would use it to his advantage. So you might be looking at different ways of how to expand businesses, how to get on top and stay in touch with what's going on in the world as far as technology and advancement in business and careers. All right, outcome for you, King of Swords in reverse, Capricorn. This is about cutting stuff out, stuff that doesn't suit you, maybe stuff that's caused tower moments. And like I said, for some reason, this is actually calling to me some kind of, health things might have kind of like happened. I mean, it could be as simple as, RSI from working too much on a computer. You start looking at different ways of doing it, ergonomic chairs or different kind of mouse, to operate your computer. If you've been entertaining a lot, you might start, cutting down on your cholesterol. You might start cutting down on alcohol, and these kind of things. All right. So you're cutting stuff out the last couple of weeks of July, maybe due to some kind of, I don't think it's a major tower moment, but something might have, been brought to your awareness, up until this reading that, what, I need to make a few changes here. But, you're pragmatic about it, Capricorn. Let's have a look. So I want to clarify, why is the Empress in reverse? And this is like, not nurturing yourself, not loving yourself, Capricorn. Let's have a look. Why is this here for Capricorn? Okay, Capricorn, look, the Tower's come out again. Okay, some of you might have had a rude awakening about how you weren't caring for yourself, caring for your body and these kind of things, all right? So it's great, all right? When it comes to our awareness, we can do something about it with the Page of Pentacles there. All right, the challenge is getting very clear, Capricorn. If the challenge was, things not going in my favor, the wheels not turning, I haven't entered a new cycle, you're getting very clear about it as to what changes I can make in order to turn the wheel of fortune upright, okay? The reason why it's all happening, some of you might have been a little bit stuck. Some of you might have, really slowed down with the Chariot in reverse here. And, it might have been due to something that happened, okay? And, something to do with health might be quite significant, okay? So really pay attention to the I can't say that word. What is wrong with me? The physical signs, okay? It could be stress related from work, okay? Thinking too much, and supporting other people too much, giving to situations that aren't giving back can affect, some of the major joints in our bodies. Like the back is all about support, the knees about support, the elbows, these kind of things. Recent past. Okay, you were starting to make healthy choices, Capricorn, in love, in life, in work, due to the fact that something was detracting from your happiness, all right? Whatever that might have been. I'll go a little bit deeper on that. Yeah, look, your focus, okay? I think really you've got a fighting spirit about you the last couple of weeks of July after a bit of a slowdown, Capricorn. And you know, the Five of Swords can talk about conflicts and these kind of things. All right. Some of you might have an internal conflict as to where to put my efforts, what to study, what is going to drive my career, and these kind of things forward in the best way possible with the least amount of work. So it's working harder, working smarter, not harder. All right. What you don't see coming toward you, Capricorn, we've got the Six of Pentacles in reverse, okay, and then we've got the Page of Cups in reverse. Just for some of you, if this is about love, you might start to see that someone's not really giving as much as you, and they're unapologetically so doing so, okay? So just watch out for that and nip that in the bud, and you know, maybe set some boundaries, Capricorn. Look at this. Look, your energetic field, all right? Two of Cups, beautiful energy here. It's a humble card, a very spiritual card. You seek out and foster great friendships, healthy friends. And then we've got the Nine of Cups here, all right? Some of you might be really celebrating or wanting to celebrate, wine and dine with, you know, your soulmate, just for some of you, okay? You might be in that kind of a mood. Okay, Capricorn, you know, a lot of you, as I say, you know, an outside influences, something might have hit you, okay, out of nowhere with the moon here, something that might have been dormant, you know, for quite some time. Let's say this could be, you know, you were struggling with, I don't know, conjunctivitis for a long time, and then you go and get, you know, your blood test done, and then you find out, oh my God, it was that all along. So some of you secrets might come to light around the reasons why you weren't feeling in your Empress energy. All right, so it's great. All right. Okay, in your fears, Capricorn. You know, some of you, you're wondering, you know, will I ever find the best of both worlds? Will I ever find that, you know, that romance, that love, and something, you know, which is stable financially? Will I be able to balance, you know, the material world with my romantic side, you know? So it's like the work-life balance. You always, you know, it's kind of like extremes, Capricorn. You know, it's a fear of yours. Will I ever get that balance right? Too much work makes Jack a dull boy, they say in the UK. You know, so it's a fear of yours that will I ever get that right? But look at this. Look, you know, your energetic feel. Sorry, your outcome for the last couple of weeks of July. All right, is cutting things out. Anything that does not make you emotionally satisfied. Okay, so you'll be cutting things out in line with balancing your emotions. If it feels good, you're going to go with it. If it's feeling off, you just cut it out, Capricorn. And you might do that quite clinically. All right, which is great. Which is like, I understand that this is not for me. I understand that this does not make me feel good. So there's no umming and ahhing and second guessing. Okay. It's great. So you sound quite definite after a period of slowing down, some of you due to, you know, minor health issues and these kind of things, all right, which would slow you down, okay? But you're coming to the awareness and things are coming to light. Those of you that are waiting for test results and all these kind of things, you know, you're gonna get to the truth of the matter, and then we can start healing, right? So let's have a look, Capricorn. If it is about love throughout the month of the last couple of weeks of July, let's have a message for love for you. If it is about love, just for a select few of you, it's not a personal reading. Remember, guys, all right? Some of you, you might have a rude awakening that, you know, whoever you're dealing with is not the one, okay? And you don't see any change, and you're getting very clear on that, you know? Some of you might have lost attraction and you don't want to move ahead with a certain person. You made a choice which you thought might bring you happiness, but it didn't, okay? And so therefore some of you, you know, you might be focused on setting boundaries with people, and facing conflicts, having those difficult conversations with the Page of Pentacles and the Five of Swords there. All right, so there's many scenarios in this reading, okay? Take what fits, guys. As always, it's a general reading, not personal, and leave the rest behind, all right? Don't try to make it fit. Okay, romantic feelings in reverse. Yeah, some of you have lost that romantic, loving feeling, maybe towards somebody, okay? Passion, allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Yeah, I think some of you might be missing passion, and that's the reason, you're not passionate about this person anymore. You're looking for some kind of like deep bond here, which makes you very happy, just for a select few of you, okay? And then we've got reconciliation in reverse. Someone from your past is returning to your life. You're not about going back with people, Capricorn. I think you're looking for more passion in your life now that you've got your health, things on the mend. You're feeling more vibrant and lively. You're going to turn the Empress upright, start looking after your body and yourself. Some of you might start exercise routines and really going to town on that, creating these endorphins, and those endorphins will, serotonin levels will increase when we exercise and these kind of things, and you start to feel more passionate. Um, where was I going to go with this? I just want to have a look at. I want to clarify that actually. The recent past, Capricorn, it was a healthy choice, and then suddenly something made you unhappy, whatever that might have been. Okay. Okay. Look, sometimes I just need to be alone with my thoughts. Don't take it personally. I wish we could do it all again differently. Now, whatever that means for you, Capricorn, in the recent past, okay? Some kind of a choice, didn't make you that happy. Whatever that might have mean. Maybe somebody else's choice didn't make you happy, or their choices. Um, yeah, so you're gonna have, you're prepared, Capricorn, throughout the last couple of weeks of July to have these, challenging conversation with the Five of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. You're gonna approach it in a friendly manner, even though it would be more like debates rather than conflicts. That's what you're all about, okay? And what you're going to find there is that you might start to have very deep conversations with people because your delivery is done in a friendly manner. It's not attacking. Is that making sense? All right. So, which is great. It's called communication. Not a dirty word, is it? Okay. Once you've broken my trust, I could never go back. So, some of you might have, approached someone in a very friendly manner and just say, hey, this isn't working out. You've broken my trust there. I enjoyed our depth and these kind of things, but maybe somebody made, some poor choices, okay, when it came to you or around you, Capricorn. And what you don't see coming is a lack of reciprocity and someone's unapologetic about it. So after this conversation, you might realize that, this person, they're not really wanting to give in equal measure here. Why is it always such an unnecessary struggle? This is what you don't see coming. You might, lose it. I needed attention for all the wrong reasons, and you gave it freely too freely. You might come to a realization, Capricorn, throughout the last couple of weeks of July that someone just wanted your attention and they weren't really wanting to give too much back to you. And you're kind of like thinking, you know what, stuff that, I might cut this out because, I want something balanced emotionally with the Queen of Cups there, right? But your energetic field is great, all right? You'll be highly attractive to people, Capricorn. So those of you that are leaving stuff behind, there's possibly new suitors out there that's, may have that eye on you or find you very attractive with the Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups, all right? Let's have a look. So, Capricorn. Something to consider throughout the last couple of weeks of July. Something that might be key in your healing, moving forward. Something to pay attention to for you, Capricorn. Let's have a look. Desires, goals, passion, craving, and fulfillment. There's been two cards of passion here, all right? So some of you guys, you might really look at, your health might be improving, taking care of yourself, turning the Empress upright, and then suddenly desires and passion comes back. Dreams. Pay attention to your dreams, Capricorn, throughout the last couple of weeks of July. Messages, signs, symbols, and guidance. The subconscious mind works very symbolically as opposed to linear. So watch out for, synchronicities and all these kind of things, and study them with the Page of Pentacles there. I've seen this 3 times. This book's been recommended to me 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I need to buy this book. Little signs and symbols that are always around us, guys. If it is about love, let me just have a look here. What to expect, those of you that are openly dating, all right, throughout the month of July, what to expect in love, okay? Right, let your friends help you. Some of you, as I say, you've got a really nice energy there. You might be feeling quite sociable and people will really warm to you with that Two of Cups energy and the Nine of Cups. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. So those of you that are dating, your friends might be quite key in introducing you to new people. And keep an open mind, Capricorn. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So don't be set in stone about this is my type, you know. Give everyone a go. Let go of control issues. Very often in life, what I've noticed, especially with my personal clients, they think they have a type and then suddenly they meet this person, they go, I have no idea how this happened, you know? Um, and it's because we're letting go of control. We're not focused on outcomes. We are enjoying the journey of life instead of the destination. And it comes to choosing romantic partners too. Sometimes, the people we want aren't who we need. And the people that we need are perfect for us. Okay. So, have a look at your needs and wants, Capricorn. Get very clear with the King of Swords in reverse here, cutting stuff out. Um, your needs cannot be compromised. They are needs, your basic needs. You know, truth, fidelity, passion, whatever it might be for you. If they are your needs, you cannot compromise on your needs. You can compromise on your wants, certainly. If you're a song throughout the last couple of weeks of July, Capricorn, lyrics might mean something to you. The band might mean something to you. There might be a subliminal message in the song. The melody might evoke certain feelings within you, which are being brought up to heal or to pay attention to. A song for you, Capricorn, throughout the last 2 weeks of July. Wildwood by Paul Weller. Okay. Paul Weller was very famous with a band called The Jam, post-punk in the UK, a London-based band. He went on to do a solo career, and I think the album was called Wildwood, but the song in particular, Wildwood, you will find your way out of the Wildwood, Capricorn, okay? After some of you might have had a bit of a tower moment due to, just minor health issues that have slowed you down, but you're ready to go again, and your energy looks great, right? Your energetic field. Positive mantra for you for the last couple of weeks of July. Positive mantra for you, Capricorn. Something to think about, contemplate, repeat to yourself maybe. Choose, Capricorn. You choose how you feel and react and perceive everything in your life. Choose to only see through love and positivity. And this is what I'm saying to you. The outcome for you is cutting anything out that doesn't make you feel good. And you choose to do that rather than outstaying and really trying to work on things. You're just going to follow the sun, Capricorn, follow what feels good. There's only two feelings, good or bad, 72 human emotions. Follow the sun, follow the good until it is no longer good. And then we make another decision, healthy decisions with the lovers here. All right. It's all about choices, guys. So, choices, you might have choices throughout the last couple of weeks, Do I continue in non-reciprocal affairs, or, it could be in love, life, work. Do I continue putting effort in that, or do I study better ways, even though it might cause some conflicts, Capricorn? You're willing to go there because your happiness is at stake, and, you want things that sit in line with your energy, okay? I think that's about it from me today. Have an amazing last 2 weeks of July, Capricorn. My name is Drew. This has been Modern Tarot. If you like the content, please like, share, or subscribe. It means I can continue to do this for free for you. If you want a personal reading, you can reach out at moderntarot.net directly or browse the YouTube Modern Tarot store, and I'll do my best to give you some clarity on your personal situations. In the meantime, have an amazing 2 weeks. Make those choices, Capricorn. Turn the Empress upright and watch your health. Take care. Bye.